Hello guys, my name's Fireguy and breaking news. Anthem is um Anthem is not selling GFW. Big surprise. Okay, but for real guys, hello guys, my name's Fireguy and welcome to Hot Fire. So in a jam-packed news full what am I saying? This jam-packed week full of controversy, dirt sheets running wild, lots of crap that surprisingly people believed. But anyways, I'm here to do this week's episode of Impact Wrestling that aired last night, September 7th, 2017. Well, yeah, last night, but it might be 2 nights ago by the time this goes up. But anyways, as just technicalities, let's just jump right into it, guys. For any new viewers, this is a weekly review audio column where I review Impact Wrestling, obviously, and my scale is a bit different than the usual 5 stars, good or bad, hit or miss kind of stuff. It's more so going to be from hot to cold. Cold being, well, not cold, but freezing being the worst, and hot fire being the best. So without further ado, let's get right into it, guys. The show starts off with the usual crappy Spy Kids intro, showing all of the associations and the TV channels they play on, or get broadcasted on, all over the world. And then after that, we get the usual Impact opening segment. Well, not segment, montage. I don't know what you want to call it. The Impact opening sequence, I guess you could say. One thing I realized is that not every week, but every few weeks or so, they tweak it up and add different scenes to it, and I really enjoy that. Like, I've seen companies like, I wouldn't say Lucha Underground, but like more so Ring of Honor and WWE, they have the same intro and they keep it for like a year or two before changing it. This is like, they keep it going they keep changing it every 2 weeks, and it keeps it fresh with the new things that are happening in Impact. Obviously, it doesn't inform you the storylines, but at least it does, give a more recent overview, I guess you could say, of the product. So right off the bat, no opening promo in-ring segment today. Straight into the X Division tag team match. Here as Caleb Conley and Trevor Lee take on Sanjay Dutt and Petey Williams. So I did miss my hot fire last week, guys. I didn't do it. Basically, with Labor Day weekend, I wasn't able to make one. And on top of that, with schools and stuff restarting, there's just huge mess. Really messed up. It's all good though now, so I can keep doing these. So last week, just to summarize that up, Petey Williams took on Caleb Conley. Obviously, Petey Williams won. Caleb Conley's a jobber. I don't know why GFW want us to take him seriously now that it's associated with Trevor Lee. But anyways, this match was definitely good, guys. Honestly, this is the match that I gave. Well, it's the only match I gave a hot rating to, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying the rest of the card was bad, but this was definitely, if not the best match on the card on the show today. So obviously, it was a bit of a back and forth, guys. I'm not gonna go through over the whole match here. There's a few cool spots like the Tree of Woe, and then Peter Williams singing the Canadian national anthem, "Oh Canada." That was a little funny, smart moment there. But I like the Tree of Woe part. That was really fun, and definitely was back and forth. I was surprised at the amount of offense. Not just Trevor Lee, but Caleb Conley got in. They're definitely trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do with Caleb Conley. They're like trying to push him, I guess, with this Trevor Lee storyline being associated to him. But like, I still don't dig it. He looks like a loser, honestly, in Trevor Lee's attire. And I don't know. He's been treated as such a jobber ever since he started in GFW/TNA. So I don't know how we're supposed to take him seriously now. Like, they should have built him up a bit beforehand, throwing him to these bigger level matches, I guess you could say. So in the end, though, everything breaks down. Obviously, a bunch of DDTs get hit everywhere. Sanjay Dutt hit like, I don't know, like a few in this match. It was a few tornado DDTs, I think. Yeah. And then obviously Trevor that takes Trevor Lee out, and then they hit what am I saying? Petey Williams hits the Canadian Destroyer, and Sanjay Dutt hits a big splash to put Caleb Conley away. So definitely a good match, guys. I say it's hot, like I said before, really good. I thought that everything was there. There wasn't much missing. Obviously it's hot, not hot fire. Could have been better, but I mean, like, everything was there to make it a good match personally. Just minus the fact of, if you just take out of your mind that Caleb Conley's a jobber, it was a really good match. So we come back from the break, obviously, and it's right away another match, guys. I was surprised at how fast they were pushing out these matches, and it's LAX versus John Bolin and Zachary Wentz. So we've seen Zachary Wentz before on GFW, obviously as a jobber, and John Bolin is new, and obviously this was a squash match. This just LAX absolutely destroyed in just about under 2 minutes, I think. They hit the street sweeper, their big finisher, with one of the members holding the opponent on his shoulders, powerbomb position, and the other one gets I guess you could say a cutter. But anyways, so yeah, I think that was on John Bolin, yeah, on Zachary Wentz. So total squash, my man, I cannot speak today for the like of me. Anyways, so yeah, total squash. That match wasn't, can't really grade a match like that. But right after, guys, OVE comes out and challenges for the titles. Was one of the Christ brothers had the promo time the whole time, which was weird, but it should have been alternating. But the one thing I didn't really enjoy about their promo was that they didn't come off like their gimmick makes them seem like who they are. I'm trying to formulate that in my mind, guys, but like, they just talked really normally. Like, they're supposed to be these weirdos with masks and stuff like that, and then they crack a promo like there's, I don't know, like Andrew Everett or DJZ, like they're just cracking a promo like no regard to their weird, funky, not goth gimmick, but like, I thought they would at least have like a weirder tone to them, but no, they just cracked out a challenge like that. Conan says that, okay, fine, you little fruit roll-ups want to fight, show us what you got, but you're not doing it here. We're doing it in Tijuana at the Crash promotion, and they accept. So next week we're getting OVE versus LAX for the GFW tag team titles in Tijuana, Mexico at the Crash promotion. So that's going to be definitely cool to see how they film that, if they had the proper camera equipment sent down there, the production crew, to film it, or if it was just like filmed at the a la Hardy's tag team expedition style. Who knows? It's going to be whatever. Well, I hope it's not whatever. I hope it's really cool, because this is a big match. Which, another thing I didn't really enjoy too about that segment was OV didn't get no promo time to explain their characters. So why would we care that they're challenging for the titles? Like, I get that they got promo time there, but that was a bit disappointing. So I don't know. I guess I feel like they threw OVE in there too early. OVE should have got more screen time, not just matches, but like at least backstage segments, so we get to know who they are first, and we actually care for them before they challenge LAX. Like, we assume that they're the faces in this, but it was just a bit weird. So overall, for that whole squash match plus that little segment afterwards, I'm giving it a lukewarm. So for the reasons I just described, really. And now, right away, guys, come back from break again, and it's another match, guys. We're swinging for these matches like crazy. No segments whatsoever. And this is the Knockouts tag team match now, as Taryn Terrell and Sienna take on Gail Kim and Ali. So Ali comes out with Braxton Stutter, and Sienna comes out with KM. And this match, I didn't really like it. I gave it a cold. I didn't feel like it. There was not much flow to it. I think personally. honestly, I'm still not a big fan of them thinking Ali is new to the wrestling business. She's not really playing that character like in the ring wise, but the commentators are still treating her like she's new, and she does eat the pin in this match, even though it was a cheap win, roll up, grab the tights from Sienna. But it's still, I don't know. I don't like how they're portraying Ali still. I'm glad that she's using like her skill in the ring. Like obviously she's not like slapping and stuff like that like she used to a few months ago when she was still the intern for Maria Kanellis. But still, the way she's portrayed, I still don't like. So like I said, not much out of this match. It lasted just about 4.5 minutes. So I'm glad it didn't go any further. I don't know. The flow wasn't there. Ali being mistreated like that still doesn't work for me, and the ending felt really flat. That's what killed it for me. Basically, Cam tried to get involved, but obviously Braxton Sutter solved that out, and they started fighting towards the back. And then right as they went to the back and kept brawling, Ali went in for a high crossbody, but Sienna caught it and rolls through and grabbed the tights for the pin. So there was literally no reason to have Cam and Braxton Sutter fight to the back unless they're trying to keep that feud going. But like, I don't know, it just felt really flat and out of nowhere. I guess that's a good thing that they kept it short, because it wasn't really the best match in the world, but at least, I mean, like, it is what it is. After the match, Ali gets beat down until Rosemary comes in for the save, but then Rosemary starts getting beat down, obviously, by Taryn Terrell and Sienna. But here's a big, huge debut, guys, that has been announced for a few weeks now. Taya Valkyrie, and she has like almost LAX cool entrance. She came in with a huge robe, a crown. The lightning light effects were really, really cool. Just everything about her character up to now, from the little we could see in GFW, was just really cool. She comes in, she does a stare down between Taryn Terrell and Sienna, but then she turns back around, starts beating down on Rosemary and helps them out. So obviously we know Taya is a heel in GFW. She beats down Rosemary, and then there's a big stare down from the faces and the heels being in the ring and the faces recouping on the outside. So definitely, I don't know. The only reason why I didn't give this match freezing cold, this whole segment freezing cold, was because of that debut. So honestly, if I had to, I would have given the match like almost freezing cold, and then this segment like hot. But I'll consider it the same thing just for the sake, because it was right after the match and it was part of the match, it was post-match. So that's why I'm giving it a cold. That saved it. Taya Valkyrie is huge gain for GFW, and with Taya coming in, there's probably a good chance that Johnny Impact is here to stay as well. So now we get obviously a little small segment saying Eli Drake is ready to beat Matt Sydal, being a bit cocky as always. And then we get finally our in-ring segment. We can't have a GFW episode without an in-ring segment, guys. And it's Jim Cornette ready to chat about the World Heavyweight title situation, or Global Championship, since they don't consider it the Heavyweight title anymore. But anyways, he says that the main event seems super crazy, especially he's hyping Johnny Impact a lot. And he says that he's ready to put all his money on Sydal. He says that Sydal's going to win it tonight. Eli Drake's already losing his grip on the championship and is ready to roll. And like, just saying that makes Jim Cornette sound like a bit of a heel. I don't know what the casual fan thinks, but I know especially me and lots of you guys at ImpactAsylum absolutely love Eli Drake. And Eli Drake is basically a face to us hardcore fans. I don't know how the casual fans see him, but Jim Cornette saying he has his money on Matt Sydal makes him look like a heel. It makes Matt Sydal look like the heel in the match, as we want Eli Drake to keep the title. So it was a bit weird there. But then Johnny Impact's music hits, and he comes out. He gets straight to the point. He doesn't even answer Jim Cornette's question, because Jim asks him a question, and he's like, he wanted to make it like an interview kinda. And then Impact's like, no, I want the winner of tonight's match for the championship. He says Matt Sydal, he respects him, he wants to fight him in this ring. Eli Drake doesn't trust him, doesn't like him, doesn't have no respect for him, but he still wants to fight him in this ring. And then right as he says that, LAX comes out with Low Ki leading the charge, and Low Ki hits like the one of the best promos I think I've seen him hit or make in a long time, especially in GFW. I haven't seen much of his work elsewhere, but man, oh man, that was a wicked promo he hit. So Cornette says that 5 against 1 isn't a good thing, but Conan goes right into his face, says your opinion doesn't matter. We're LAX, running our stuff, our business, and they said Low Ki deserves a title shot. He did defeat James Storm last week, so I know he should be number 1 contender in my mind, anyways. And Jim Cornette's like, no. It's nothing racist, nothing racial. You're not gonna lose any opportunities because you're Hispanic. You're not gonna gain any opportunities because you're Hispanic. This is totally up to the match is like. So he's like, what am I saying? So yeah, Jim Cornette's like, no, you're not gonna get anything because you're Hispanic. And then Low Ki gets right in his face, and Low Ki's like, you know what? I need a title shot. And he's like, I don't. This isn't WWE. This isn't Lucha Underground. Johnny Impact. We run the show here, so get back in line. And he just started swearing left and right in this promo. It was really solid. Like, I can't even explain it. It was just really, really good. It was short, guys. It was not even like 30 seconds, I think. But man, oh man, the emotion there was super hardcore, especially coming from Low Ki. And then Cornette's like, no, you're in line like everybody else. But then Johnny swings at Low Ki and all hell breaks loose. So Johnny obviously starts destroying LAX, but LAX had a little comeback. Security comes in, tries to break it up, but they get beat down. LAX beats this security guards down and they keep on fighting, but eventually they get separated. And LAX and Johnny Impact have a big stare down before they announce that next week we're getting Johnny Impact versus Low Ki number 1 contender match. So I'm glad that they're using everybody in this main event scene and not just not in the title picture. I remember last year especially, and at the beginning of this year, they would just throw anybody a championship match just so they could stay in the main event scene. Meanwhile, we're having Low Ki versus James Storm last week just for no reason. Having this match next week for the number 1 contendership. It keeps these main event talent in the main event scene and around the title without necessarily getting a title shot left and right like, well, back then TNA was known to do often, which really pissed me off a bit. I lost interest in watching these main event matches. So overall, this whole segment was really hot, guys. Really, really good. Low Ki's segment there was, wow. It was just, I definitely liked it, and it was really good. So now we start the big, about 35 minutes of no wrestling, guys. I'll explain it a bit. So we get a little recap of the Grado and Joseph Park storyline. Last week, to no one's surprise, we found out Laurel Van Ness is actually Canadian. And then we cut to this week. Joseph Park says to Grado, you got to do it, man. You got to break up with her. You just got to tell her the wedding's off. And then Grado goes to Laurel Van Ness and he's like, the wedding's off. Just straight up tells it to her face. And then Laurel's like, she tries not to cry, but she's like, you hear weird like bell sounds and she's freaking out and there's like a bunch of jump cuts everywhere. So you see she's like mildly freaking out, but then she acts normal again. And she goes to Grado, she's like, it's fine. And then Grado's like, oh, you're such a good lad. And then after they high five and Grado walks off super happy. And then she starts cracking up again, smushing her makeup all over her face. And it seems like she's going crazy again. So I don't know if she's going to go full bride crazy like we saw a few weeks ago for the last few months. She did hint in an interview recently that she will be a mix of both. Her, her plush pretty bitch attitude character, plus the little craziness. So who knows if they're heading for that right away. But I don't want her to be full crazy, just mild crazy, because she can do that right. She can do that really well. So now we get the huge GFW Triplemania montage. It lasted 20 minutes through 2 commercial breaks, and it was good at the start, but like it just went downhill pretty much. So at the start it was a big focus on Lashley and Moose appearing in the battle royale. They didn't really explain what the battle royale was for. I think it was for the #1 contendership for the AAA Mega Championship, if I'm not mistaken. And it was like a team battle royale. And Jeff Jarrett was also in that match, but he wasn't mentioned at all. And they were talking about how Moose eliminated Lashley, even though they were in a team, I think. And then they obviously got super mad at each other because they eliminated each other. Well, Moose eliminated Lashley, and Lashley's like, this is why I'm solo, that's why I make no friends. He's like, pro wrestling is real. He's like, this is why you don't trust anybody in this business. I'm my own man, and this is why I never signed up for this. I came here for a championships match, which, like, kayfabe, it wasn't actually real, but he did say that he was supposed to be booked for a championship match, and then it got thrown into the battle royale. And he's like, this is not what I signed up for. And that was that. Right after we get also after that little montage, we got another they're not separate montages, they all go together, but like I'm just considering the different montages like between each topic. The next topic in the montage was the return of DJZ. So this one, what am I saying, guys? I'm sorry. The Lashley and Moose montage was good, and this one was even better, showing DJZ's road to recovery. They actually filmed a few bits and clips of his recovery, his cut after his surgery, and like this was serious, guys. For those who don't know, DJZ got seriously injured at I think it was even in the Crash promotion, one of their shows. He got injured, and it was really life-threatening. Like back when they announced it, I was like, wow, his career might actually be over. He couldn't walk for weeks after the surgery, and I'm surprised to this day that he still made it back. He's back as a full-time wrestler, and wow, I'm just still surprised. But anyways, so it was his big road to recovery. They showed a few bits and clips of his match with Andrew Everett. They were in a match for the tag team championships, I think, as well. They didn't win, obviously, but showed a few bits and clips there. DJZ's, I don't know if this is gonna be his attire in GFW, but he had a really cool a la Chris Jericho light up costume going on. Like Chris Jericho has the coat, but he had the huge LED panel on his chest. I don't know how to describe it, but it was cool. I honestly laughed a bit at that, but then I was like, it's pretty cool. So that was really well done. I liked the comments from the other wrestlers. It just kept cutting between wrestlers as well. Lashley commenting on DJZ, Jeff Jarrett commenting, Jeremy Borash commenting. It was just really cool like that. And then this is where things started getting a bit boring, and we weren't even halfway through the Triplemania montage. So next little topic they were talking about was Johnny Impact being so dominant in AAA, how he was the AAA Mega Champion, Lucha Underground Champion at the same time, and then he was put in a 3-way ladder match for all 3 championships. I think it was the AAA Mega Championship and 2 other belts. I don't know the whole information. I do watch AAA and all the Mexican promotions down there when they're televised, but I don't follow it as much as I do North American wrestling. So, they said he was in a 3-way ladder match against Tejano and El Hijo del Fantasma. They showed a few bits and clips of that match, which was, I really like that part where they're showing all the bits and clips. It was really cool. And in the end, he did win all 3 belts. So it showed how dominant he's been. He says that his gold means more than Drake's, and he's ready to go beat Drake's ass, basically. I like the little like match montage, but all the other stuff was pretty, I don't know, starting to get repetitive and boring, and I just didn't like it. We came back from the break, and there was even more crap here when they did a video on the Sexy Star / Rosemary incident. So supposedly, the dirt sheets have said today, the day after this aired, that GFW won't be mentioning that incident anymore. That was just to get some heat on AAA, because they're heading, supposedly there's a big angle that's going to involve AAA versus GFW in the future, and that's what they're aiming for. I don't know if that's true or not, but whatever. This video wasn't much. They didn't even never mention Sexy Star by name. They filmed Jeff Jarrett getting mad at other talent backstage instead of getting mad at Sexy Star. But they did show what happened, though. They showed the end of the match with Sexy Star just assaulting Rosemary's arm in that armbar. I never had the chance to fully watch the video, and now watching it, it's like she did take it to a whole other level. Like, I knew she took it to a level beforehand, but like, she was going batshit insane on that arm. Like, it wasn't a joke. That was serious. And then we're kind of back to the show now. That was the last of the GFW Triplemania montage. Like I said, I'll give it a lukewarm. It was half good, half bad. It was good at the start, then started losing its traction throughout, so lukewarm, right in the middle. That's like the best rating I can give it. So, right after that though, it's not really the end of it. We get another little small part where they talk about how GFW and being partnered with AAA, The Crash, Noah, and all that is really important, and how they're all going to come together in the future and be one entity and stuff like that. Just more promotion. Wasn't really that interesting. I don't really consider it part of the Triplemania stuff anyways. So now we get a video on Desmond Xavier. It's been a while since we've heard it talk about him, so I'm glad they brought him back, at least with a little small segment like that. Says that he used to have a military background. His dad was in the military, and thanks to the military, he managed to get into wrestling. He said that once he quit military, they go into wrestling full time. He moved to Ohio, and there he had really no one. He had no family, and it was actually OVE that managed to get him into the business, or get credit to his name. And he's glad that OVE is now signed to GFW. So a cool little segment. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully to do with something with Desmond Xavier in the future. He does have an X Division title shot for winning the Super X Cup. So hopefully they build a storyline around him soon, because I definitely see lots of potential in him. So we get the same promo after, or vignette, for Pagano. I did see on ImpactAsylum guys chatting with guys, especially I think it was Bad Street USA that brought it up, saying he wanted the return of Decay, since John Gaburik will be taking lead role in creative. Meanwhile, Jeff Jarrett is gone on a leave of absence, right? And he wanted the Decay back, and I was chatting with him, and I was like, that wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Obviously, Crazy Steve didn't make the NXT cuts. Gunner did, but not him. So he's still on the market. So maybe he could come back to GFW. They did leave on good terms, and maybe they could make not just Decay of Rosemary, Abyss, and Crazy Steve. They could also throw Pagano in there. And even then, they don't even need Abyss. They could just make the three face paint people part of Decay, and that would work just as well. So hopefully they have something to do for Pagano. I feel like he's definitely going to be an interesting character. And yeah, so we move on to some more stuff. I'm telling you guys, there's lots of stuff before the next match. We get a little news announcement saying Eddie Edwards is the first Gaijin, or I don't know how to pronounce that word, or the first American to win the GHC title. So that's the Pro Wrestling Noah title. Definitely really cool news. Personally, I don't know, Noah's not televised, so I don't follow them all that well. I know they post stuff on their YouTube, but I don't think they're televised, or I'm not able to get it anyways, so I don't watch much of their stuff. But happy for Eddie Edwards. Noah's still a rather big company in Japan. So really glad for him, and hopefully maybe that ends up being like, maybe he'll defend it on Impact GFW. Who knows? Now we get a video on Garza Jr. I don't know why they did this. I'm still perplexed. Are they pushing Garza Jr. for a singles push? Like, are they aiming for that? What are they aiming for? Because usually he's with Laredo Kid as a tag team. So the fact that they made a video solely on him is a bit weird. Obviously, he's not the best at English, so his promo pretty much sucked. He just said his dad is good, his dad is good, his dad is good. I want to wrestle. I like wrestling. Over and over again. Pretty much. Like, he knew himself that he was repeating the same stuff. He's like, I'm sorry. But, like, you know, it felt genuine, at least that way. And we got a little back to the Asylum days almost, and Victory Road days. Well, we got a little montage of Victory Road 2004 and the Asylum days of when Hector Garza used to be in TNA for a brief bit and then worked back in AAA and stuff like that. And then we cut back to backstage here as Richard Justice, the standby wrestler, is still exercising, and he's really hurt. Mackenzie Mitchell goes up to him. He's like, "Why are you still practicing? You look injured." And he's like, "I gotta keep practicing. You never know when they'll need me." And I don't even know why they waste time on this. Like, what's happening with him? Like, I don't understand. Is he trying to be like is it gonna be like a running joke in GFW? I don't understand. But anyways, now right before the match, we get a Matt Sydal little vignette segment saying that he's ready to win the title and that this is his official cash-in for beating Lashley. He didn't want an X Division title shot anymore. He wanted the GFW Championship. No one can blame him. So now it's time for the GFW World Title match here, guys, as this is Eli Drake's first time defending the title against Matt Sydal. Okay, so I'm not going to go for the whole match here because it goes just about 20 minutes. I don't think you guys want to hear me just repeat the match. So overall, this match, I'm not going to give it a hot. I'm not going to give it a lukewarm. I'm going to give it somewhere in the middle there, just a warm. Personally, I think with Eli Drake winning the title now, I don't think the interferences have to be as many as there were in this match. Chris Adonis grabbed Matt Sydal's legs a few times, got involved, tried to get some chairs involved. Near the end, he threw the title into the ring and distracted the referee, and that's what got Eli Drake the victory. And that just makes Eli Drake look weak. Especially how we want him to get pushed now. People like Eli Drake, well, people at ImpactAsylum anyways. I don't know, I don't like the way he's being pushed. He can still be that cocky character without necessarily having to have interference or win by those kinds of methods all the time. So, in this match, there's a few cool spots. There wasn't many close points. Well, not close points, but there was some back and forth, but there wasn't any close calls. There wasn't really lots of 2 counts. But there was a few, but I mean, like, none of them that were actually like, oh my god, could he win? Like, they were pretty obvious that they were fake. Or, like, not fake twos, but, like, not the victory pin. So, the ending was Adonis put the belt into the ring, then grabbed the chair and threw it into the ring so the referee could see the chair. The referee saw the chair. Eli Drake went for the title. Eli Drake swung at Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal ducked. Matt Sydal hit a big running knee into his face. Then Matt Sydal goes up to the top rope. He's about to hit a shooting star, but Adonis goes up into the apron, and Matt Sydal jumps towards Adonis, taking him down, and then tries to go back up to hit the shooting star on Eli Drake afterwards. But Eli Drake's fast enough, grabs the title, and hits Matt Sydal on the head while the referee was busy with Chris Adonis. And then Drake hits the gravy train to retain the title. So it seems like the gravy train is his new submission, not submission, but his new finisher move. Seems like they dropped the Blood Force Trauma. I don't remember. It might have been a while, but it's the first time I noticed. Well, I noticed last week actually that it was the Gravy Train's new finisher. But I don't know, it's just a stupid name, I guess. But it goes with the character of Eli Drake. So this was a good main event. Like I said, it was warm. Just because there was good stuff, but it never really hit that level, you know. Definitely, I think Eli Drake and Matt Sydal worked a better match than Matt Sydal and Bobby Lashley did, but still a good match though. I think the thing that was missing was the thrill factor. There was no big moment. There was not much close calls, so it just felt a bit lackluster in that regard. But overall, this show was still good. Even though the I don't know how to explain this, guys. Like I said, the best match was definitely by far the X Division tag team match. And even though the other matches were lukewarm, cold, lukewarm again, and then warm with the title match, it still came out to be a decent episode of Impact. So I'm definitely giving it probably not a hot and probably not lukewarm. I'm gonna give it a warm, just like this main event. I'm gonna give this show a warm rating. Like I said, definitely good. I loved how the beginning was just bang match after match after match, announcing match after match for next week, and I just enjoyed that. But then they started killing it a bit at the beginning of the second hour when they had 30 minutes of just crap and segments, and it was just getting to get it over with. Like, it was a bit weird in that regard. Another point I want to make is that EC3 still hasn't defended his Grand Championship since winning it. So EC3 is being left in the dust here, and I hope he gets to defend it at least soon. I heard that for this week they had, like, people were saying that EC3 versus El Hijo del Fantasma for the title was supposed to happen. Obviously that didn't happen. I don't read the spoilers, so I didn't know what was happening this week minus what they announced. So hopefully get some title defense soon, even though it's not a legit one, just a random one against, who knows, like Marche Rocket, or someone like that. But at least something to keep him relevant, and that he still has the title and he can still defend it, because he's losing a bit of credibility here. And him running around talking to Jim Cornette doesn't really help anything. So I think I'm going to end this hot fire here, guys. This is all I had to say. Next week we have two big matches, LAX versus OVE in Tijuana, Mexico at the Crash promotion for the GFW tag team titles. And we have Low Key versus Johnny Impact for the number one contendership for the GFW Global Championship. So yeah, I'll end this off here, guys. Thank you to ImpactAsylum. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Fireguy, and I'll see you all next week.